welcome back to today's video. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the time I got in trouble because of a substitute not doing their job. And my teacher decided to discipline me for it. And here's why. Explain this story to you guys. So this all started back in so I went to school in a West Virginia school. Not gonna say where in West Virginia, but it was my fifth grade year. I only went to that school for 2 years, and it was an elementary school. And I went to that school for about 2 years, and and I had this, and I didn't have any issues with teachers the first year, but then the second year is where there was some drama that was taking place in all of this, and things that happened because of it. Let's go ahead and start off with the whole reason why. So I was in fifth grade. I had two different teachers. One was my general education teacher. The other one was, like my case manager teacher. And the case manager teacher was named Mrs. Hardafelis. Goes by Miss H. And Miss H was, you know, she was my teacher that year, and she was my teacher that year. And so she starts off, she was good, and then she had some of her bad moments. And I don't want to like make it seem like, oh, she was this terrible teacher, but there were some things that needed to be addressed because because of you know school related issues um, like school related issues like me doing something or whatever. Because the thing about it is, I lost a lot of recess. About 5 minutes out of my recess would be taken away. And this happened quite a few times. And this would happen quite a few times. And so what happened is I would, you know, I would, um, I would act up. But there was something that happened that really, really was a bit of a problem. Something that I felt like I was treated unfairly, all because I was a bit more functional than the others. And I got disciplined because of a substitute who didn't do her job. TA, who, we got along very well. She also noticed that Miss H and this other long-term substitute teacher, who was basically taking over teaching for this other student, I mean not student, teacher. His name was Mr. Juan Settler. Now, me and this TA, we pretty much agreed that, you know, she pretty much agrees with me about how Miss H, Mr. W, and this other TA, Miss Berryhill, was also very, that they were mean. And they were mean up to the point to where they also were rude to their coworkers, to the other TAs as well. And that's like, this is a very serious problem. I mean, you got TAs disrespecting, you got teachers disrespecting TAs, and it's becoming a problem. It's becoming noticeable. So I'm going to explain this one day. So one day that TA was out, and there was a substitute. This TA was out. The TA was out. And TA was out, and we had this one sub. And the substitute was new, didn't really know what she was doing. Younger substitute. And this one day, we left the general education class to go up to this other classroom to get something or whatever it was. Well, apparently we didn't go back to that class. So the substitute, so it was, I think it was two other students that was in that gen ed class that went over to the other class, and they were goofing off, like, just hanging out, not doing anything, and so I just kind of did the same. Well, the substitute didn't even attempt to try to see if we're supposed to be there, and the substitute basically just sat there, did nothing. Probably was playing on the cell phone or something like that. And we're talking, this was back in like 2012, 2013. So, yeah, and so she's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Well, then, short while later, a little after that, the Miss H comes. And Miss H comes in yelling at me because it was my job to have the sub take us back down to that class. And that's where I said I was about ready to talk back. And she's like, and she's just going on this rant about how I'm this, I did that, and I was supposed to do this, and no, it's all my fault. So she basically took like 10 minutes away from my recess, from what I believe. Or maybe she took all the recess away. I don't know. All I know is I got punished because of it. And the others didn't get punished. Now, of course, you may be thinking, well, Tristan, like, what's the whole point of all this? Well, the point is that I'm a student and the substitute is the adult. Okay, I was like 11 years old, and you're putting an 11-year-old in charge of a substitute, a kid, and you're putting that 11-year-old in charge of a substitute. The substitute should know what they're supposed to do. And if they know they're not supposed to do it, then they would go and ask somebody, like, hey, where are these students supposed to be? Instead, she just sat there. And if she attempted to try to get us back to that class and we didn't listen, then she would go and get somebody who can. But the point is, I mean, I get punished and the others don't get punished for it. There's a significant problem there. Now, of course, I didn't say anything sooner about it all because, I didn't feel like it was necessary. Because now that I'm out of high school, I realize now that Miss H was 100% wrong for the way she handled the situation. And realistically speaking, she could have lost her job for that. Now, of course, who are they going to believe? An 11-year-old or a teacher? What are they going to believe? Miss H, she just wouldn't, you have to understand that an 11-year-old, fifth grader, whatever, they're gonna, they're going to act up and misbehave. And I was very talkative back then, you know, and, it was just crazy. And the fact that she yelled at me for a substitute who was supposed to take us back to class, who didn't, I'm the one who gets in trouble because I am the one who is higher functioning than the rest. Like, there must be a such problem there. I am a student, the sub's the one's responsible. And the sub basically Miss H yelled at me for it. And I was like, you're gonna punish me and not punish the others for not doing what they're supposed to do. So basically, you're just gonna blame me for the situation? Like, are you delusional? Or what's the problem? I mean, seriously, you don't go and punish a student who it's not his job to be in charge of routine. That's not the way it works. And the fact that this sub basically just sat there and did absolutely nothing, and then I'm the one who gets in trouble. How about you punish the other two instead of punishing me for it? I mean, that was just wrong. It was wrong. She shouldn't have punished me for it. She should have punished everybody for it, if that was the case. But basically, she just punished me for it. And, and it was just a messed up situation. At go, we had issues. Miss H was just, she was just too over expecting for, and like losing recess. But there were even times where I think it was either Christmas break or spring break. It was one of those two. And she goes off on me because I'm talking about my break. And yeah, she was just wrong sometimes. And this Mr. Juan Settler, this Mr. W, he was bad too. And he's one of those people, those teachers, that they are goofy. And I have experience with these type of people. I know these people very well who are like this. They're goofy, but then they have a dark side they just flip into, and they can be the most meanest person you ever meet. It's like you're a goofy guy, humorous guy, sense of humor, but yet you turn into to be the most meanest guy on earth. I don't understand that. Because I've known people that are like that, you know. And this Mr. W, he was just, very, very rough around the edges. And one time, it was towards the end of the year, um, we were we were doing something. I forget what it was, but oh yeah, it was at lunch, and they were dismissing tables. Well, this one road was supposed to go, and I was about ready to go. So W grabs my arm and pulls me back to the other end of the bench. I'm like, who do you think you are, grabbing on me like that? If you wanted me to stay, you could have said, hey, wait here, or wait. Know what you did. Now also there was Miss Berryhill. Berryhill she was younger, TA, but she had a freaking mouth. I mean, she had a mouth. She was all the time yelling, but once again, not all the time angry. Had some good, and they all pretty much had some good, but it's these moments, it's where they kind of do too much. And she basically was, she had a mouth, and she was all the time screaming at people, screaming at. She even caused another TA, because this one kid, he would hit the teachers, and the TA that was with him, Berryhill yelled at that TA for the student not being controlled enough. So she goes, and so TA cried in the bathroom. And then this other time, the TA quit her job because she quit. Because, you work in such an environment with these negative people, and basically they put their attitude on the students and on their coworkers as well. And that TA basically quit. And that's why they quit. I think about the middle of the school year, or it was somewhere in like the middle of the school year, she basically quit. And she just quit. So one day, so after this, Miss H had yelled at me for some other reason, I went back outside and told the TA what happened, and the Berryhill, Miss H, Mr. W went into another room, and they basically talked for a little while. And they talked for a little while. And so they're like, yeah, looks like there's kind of a mutiny that's happening here. Because the thing about it is, those three people, they were a problem. Because they were, and once again, got me in trouble, punished me for a substitute not doing their job, and all this other nonsense. So, yeah. So, like what I said, I mean, it was a very negative environment to be around. And then to put that negative energy on the students, and then always having me get in trouble. Yeah, I might be the more functioning person, but you don't go and punish that student all because the substitute didn't do their job. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. This is a short video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the video. Peace.